so taking a look at this first example here. So we have this piecewise function. We're trying to figure out what value of c will make the limit as x approaches 3 exist. Okay, so first thing, remember for the limit as x approaches 3 to exist, that our left limit has to be equal to our right limit. Okay, so remember from the graphs in the previous day, so if you would have had a graph, we'll say like this, as long as it was continuous, and we'll say 3's here. If you approach the left and the right, that's when the limit will exist. If we had the jump, or if we had an asymptote, it wouldn't. A hole is perfectly fine, but just the left and the right have to be the same. So, they give us a piecewise function, which means we really have two different graphs going on here. So, because this says x is less than or equal to 3, this means really the left side of the graph. And then x is greater than 3, this means the right side. Because this one has the equal to, that means actually at 3 is what's happening there. So, we know for the limit to exist, the limit as x approaches 3 from the left has to be equal to the limit as x approaches 3 from the right. Okay? Well, so for the left, we said we're going to use this equation here. Well, because we have the limit as x approaches 3, we can do direct substitution. We're going to plug in that 3 for that x. So we really have c times 3 plus 1 for that left-hand side. And then for the right-hand side, we're using this equation. Because we have x approaches 3, we can do direct substitution and plug in 3 for that x. Okay, you're just not plugging in for c because c is just a constant here. So we're just going to simplify this. We have 3c plus 1 equals 9c minus 1. So if I subtract over, we'll have 6c equals 2. So c is going to be equal to 1/3. So when c is equal to 1/3, that means the left and the right will give you the same answer, which means that the limit would have to exist. Okay? So then our last problem, we have another piecewise function. We're trying to figure out the limit as x approaches k from the right. So we're trying to figure out the right side of the limit. This one's a little different. So in the piecewise function, it tells you x is not equal to k, and it tells you x equals k. It doesn't say this one's on the left, this one's on the right. So I want you to think about graphs. If I give you a graph that looks like this, if you're approaching from the left and from the right, your y value answer would be here. This point would be the actual place where it's equal to it, but that wouldn't actually be the limit. So the limit would actually take place where the hole is. So because of that, if you were going to do the left side or the right side limit, you would have to use this up here. This second one would actually give you where the ordered pair is going to go. And that's not what we want here. Okay, so it's different than the last one. The last one had the less than sign and the greater than sign. This one's saying it's not equal to k, and this one's saying it's equal to k. So we really need to use the one that's not equal to k. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here. We want to find the limit as x approaches k from the right. Okay, it's not really going to make a difference. Of x squared minus k squared over x minus k. So because k is just a constant, so k is just a number, and it says x approaches k, we're going to do direct substitution, and everywhere there's an x, we're going to plug in a k. Well, we're going to end up with 0 in the denominator, which we can't do. We know our first approach, if we can't do it, is we're going to factor. So if we factor, if you look at the numerator, these are perfect squares. So we can take the square root of each one and get x plus k times x minus k over x minus k. Well, remember, something's supposed to cancel. Well, it's going to. X minus k is going to cancel, and we're just left with x plus k. So now we can bring down our limit. We want to find the limit as x approaches k from the right. The right really doesn't matter when you're doing the algebraic stuff. And now we're just going to do direct substitution, plug in k for x. And we're going to end up with k plus k, which is going to give us 2k, which would be our final answer.